All right, we're talking about how to not be tired all the time. Surprise, when you're healthier, you have more energy. Crazy, right? We're gonna talk about the 3 strategies that you need to be an energy generator and not a battery drainer. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna start over. I don't like that so far. That's okay. All right. We're talking about how to not be tired all the time. Surprise, when you're healthier, you have more energy. Isn't that awesome? We're talking about 3 major strategies that you can use right now to have better energy and be the kind of guy who can get everything you've done versus the kind of guy who never has the energy to do anything after work. That's the worst, right? You go to work all day, like 9 to 5, you get home, and your kids are going crazy, and your wife's trying to talk to you, and you're just like, I just need a second. And then you sit on the couch, and you watch TV, and then it's just time for bed, and then it all starts over the next day, right? You just never have enough energy, which is why we say we don't have time to work on our goals, because we really just don't have the energy or the motivation we need to make it happen, right? Well, how can we be the kind of guys who can get everything done? This is something I picked up from going through Dean Graziosi's programs and his training and his coaching. And he talks about how we kind of have to shift from being an energy drainer, where we just feel like we start at, what our version of 100 is. It's kind of like when you have like a 5-year-old iPhone battery and it just like goes to 0 so fast, right? When we start there and we just drain, like we got to be the kind of guys who can generate energy to get more done no matter what are the demands put on us, right? So number 1, how can we raise our energy all the time is by exercising more often. It might sound weird if you're not exercising right now and you're like, if I don't have energy and I make myself exercise, how could I possibly have more energy? It's crazy, but it's one of the first things that happens when people sign up with us here at Pathway is when they start working out, their energy goes up almost immediately. Because it's the same way that your body gets stronger, your body produces more energy with the demands you put on it. So if you're sitting in a desk all day and you're just typing on a computer, then you go home, you sit on the couch, you're not doing much, you're not putting much demand on your body, so your body's like, cool, we don't need that much energy. I don't have to spend calories and work to provide energy for you to do anything. But when you start exercising, you put that demand on your body's like, hold up, I didn't know I was gonna have to put like metal on my back and stuff. So your body generates more energy to be able to accommodate for the exercise. And that's why when you stop exercising, and you go like a week without exercise, you start getting like antsy and you start getting agitated more often because your body's like, wait a minute, like I was used to doing this stuff. What happened to that? So exercise is a great way for us to create more demand, more energy for our body. Exercise more often, have more energy. Wild. Strategy number 2 for having awesome energy and not being tired all the time is by eating better. Again, crazy concept, right? The reason this works this way is when you're eating cleaner, more natural foods that are easier for your body to digest, your body doesn't have to spend as much time and energy digesting. That's one of the reasons why intermittent fasting took off, and there was a lot of science research behind why that was so good. Super valid strategy, but you have to follow it all the way through if you're doing intermittent fasting. Topic for a whole nother conversation. But the idea was that if you are only eating in this certain window of time, your body has to spend energy on digesting only in that window. And the rest of the time, it can worry about other things and not have to be constantly digesting food, right? Which is an energy drain on your body. Another thing is when you're putting highly processed food in your body, you get tired, right? When you go to lunch and you have like pasta or Taco Bell or something crazy like that, your body goes, hold up, all hands on deck here. We do not have energy to do anything else at the moment because I just had this calorie bomb put in the system that we got to work our way through before we can do anything else. So when you're doing highly processed junk food, your body has to work harder to process that, and you don't get as much energy out of it because what is food at the end of the day? Calories are energy, right? So that's why we talk about food as fuel, because it literally is what you burn to do the things that you do. So you put in super simple things that your body can digest, like whole natural foods. Your body can process that easier, give you the energy out of it easier, and not spend so much time and energy digesting it and processing it. So that's why eating better helps you have better energy. The third thing is to prioritize recovery and sleep. Now, those are related, but they're 2 separate things, right? On the recovery side of things, it's pretty simple. if you're exercising too much and you're training too hard and you're not allowing your body the time that it needs to recover to get back to its optimal place, you're not gonna be able to function at your highest level, right? That's what we call peak state. That's why you look at like MMA fighters or anybody performing at like the peak level of what they do. They train incredibly hard, right? They push their body as hard as they can, but they back off and they prioritize sleep. That's why you watch like NBA athletes. They're always like getting massages in the back right after games. They're doing ice baths, things like that to let their body snap back to where it needs to be. If you're constantly running the pedal to the metal, your body can't recover, and then you're just gonna be wasted, right? So if you're waking up and your heart rate's elevated, if you have like a Whoop or a Apple Watch or something and you notice that your heart rate's up when you wake up in the morning, it's a good sign that you're overtraining and you're not giving your body the recovery that it needs. So it's a huge thing to get your energy back. On the sleep side of things, I know there's this whole culture behind like sleep is for the weak, right? Or just saying that you only need 4 or 5 hours of sleep to function. And yeah, maybe you can like get through the day and you can operate at 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but it's absolutely not optimal. Sleep is one of those things that's been studied a lot over the last few years, and they're seeing more and more that it is so necessary for you to be at your optimal performance to prioritize sleep. Now, it's difficult to get sleep in now, right? Because there's so many things pulling on our attention and trying to like keep us distracted and keep us up and not just get the sleep in that we need. So you got to avoid what we call energy vampires, things that are sucking away the energy, keeping you from performing at your best. Things like a blue light, right? When you're scrolling on your phone at night in bed, you're keeping your mind active, right? You're like triggering dopamine and making yourself think about things, even if you're kind of like mindlessly doing it, right? And what your phone uses is blue light, which is the same light that happens at dawn. So it goes back to the good old days, right? How we developed as humans. When your body sees blue light and what we typically see at dawn, it goes, okay, cool, now we're like ready for the day. So when you pull up your phone, you pull up that blue light, even when it's the middle of the night, your body goes, wait a minute, I think it's dawn. Let me kick in these chemicals that have you getting ready to function throughout the day. So you're not slowing things down, getting ready for sleep, right? So blue light blockers on the phone are great. Another good thing is just not bring the phone into bed with you. You don't need it. You're not missing out on anything by not checking your emails or getting on social media when you should be sleeping, right? Stress. Can't just avoid stress altogether, right? But how we cope with stress is huge. If we're worrying, if we're just laying up at night thinking about things that like we can't control, there's no way that we're getting the sleep that we need. We're not recovering. Alcohol. I love alcohol. I mean, I do, right? But you have to moderate how much you drink it. If you're drinking alcohol every night, even if it's 1 glass, remember, why does alcohol get us drunk? Because it's literal poison. If you're putting literal poison in your body every single night, your body has to process that poison before it can do anything else. Kind of like what we talked about with the nutrition thing earlier, right? So by limiting the amount of time that we drink alcohol and the amount of alcohol that we drink, we're letting our body perform better, we're sleeping better, we're recovering better, right? So don't drink alcohol every night. So stress, blue light, sleep, just not giving yourself a routine to get into to get ready for bed. Really try to prioritize getting at least 7 hours of sleep. Is going to be a huge thing to help you have more energy. Be amazed at the difference it makes. Another huge thing is not hitting the snooze button. I know we like the snooze button. Those last 9 minutes make a big difference, right? They don't. What they do is they jack up your sleep rhythms. So when your alarm goes off, this is psychological and it's chemical, right? If you hit the snooze button, 9 minutes is not enough time for your body to go through sleep cycle, right? So either you get into deeper sleep that you try to snatch yourself out of when the alarm goes off with that snooze, and then you struggle more to get out of bed and get moving, right? And then psychologically, when we hit the snooze button, we're saying we're not ready for the day. We're saying that, for me, it's like you're losing the first battle of the day. When my alarm goes off, that's the time I need to get up to get done the things I needed to get done to be prepared for the day, right? So that's the agreement that I made with myself the night before. Like, that's when I have to get up. I can hit that alarm, I can jump up, and I can start moving, or I can hit snooze and be 10 minutes behind. And then odds are if I hit snooze, I'm gonna hit snooze again. I'm gonna hit snooze again until like I'm at the last minute that I have to get up to get ready, and then I'm scrambling to get out the door. I'm just not prepared for the day, and then I feel like I'm on defense all day instead of offense, right? Which brings me to bonus tip number 4, setting intention, right? The motivation that you bring into what you're doing throughout the day makes a huge difference in the energy you feel. If you're like, oh, it's work again, this is gonna suck. What kind of energy we're bringing, right? We can manifest energy just from our body language. If we're sitting here, I'm slumped over like this. If I sit here long enough like this, I'm gonna start feeling tired. If I roll my shoulders back and I get excited about what I'm doing, about talking to you guys and trying to help you have more energy, I feel good. I have more energy. I can do more of this stuff. This is something that I learned from Brendan Burchard. It's a great thing that you can implement at any point throughout the day. Setting intention, right? The transitions between things. If you're at work, you're looking at your emails and you're about to go into a meeting, take a second to think, okay, who needs me at my best right now? Right? Just taking 1 second to think, who needs me at my best? If it's you, you better show up for yourself as the best version of yourself, right? If it's your boss, if it's your wife, if it's your kid, whatever it is, like when you're coming home, you pull in your driveway, you're about to step in your house after a day at work, it might have been an exhausting day at work, but your family needs you, right? You better show up for your wife and your kids as the best version of yourself. So take a second to think, okay, I'm gonna have energy when I go in that house. I'm gonna be excited to see my family. I know I am when I get home. So raise that intention, have the energy you need to, and it's fake it till you make it. Even when you pretend that it's real, your body responds by giving you what you need, and then you forget that you were tired in the first place. So a lot of this is mental, right? It's how you position, how you set yourself up for success. But some of it is how we treat our body. It's the exercise demand that we put on ourselves. It's what the fuel that we put into our system. And it's how we allow ourselves to recover and sleep. So the basics of it, we're just trying to be healthier. When we're healthier, we have more energy to do more things that we want to get done, and we feel better going throughout the day. But don't ignore the psychological aspect of things. Win those first battles of the day. Don't hit the snooze button. Raise the intention and show up as the best version of yourself for the things that you need to show up at.